Good morning. This is Arlene Arnold, and I'm here with Focus of the Week. And today is September 10th, 2019. And the color that came up for us today is the Strength in Black. And the little mini color card gives us just a snapshot. It says focused, transforming, and full of potential. And as I went to the book to see exactly what was coming up for Black, I came up with two things, transformation and shadow side. So I want to read a little bit from the general information about Black. Black contains all the colors of the pigments. Its power comes from the containment of these colors. It is rich, full, focused, and beautiful. White becomes Black's balance. White becomes Black's balance, but not in the same way as other colors. Black becomes the foundation or platform from which we live our lives, while white becomes the activating divine force that expands our awareness so that we experience all life as sacred. So what has been happening to us is that we have been through a period of time when all of these different unbalanced kinds of things have come up. So there was much transformation going on in the Black. It had to do with being able to see the residue that was left from things that we had taken on, like thoughts, ideas, kind of beliefs that didn't really fit who we are now, if they ever did fit us. But the other part of it is that we, as standing on Black, you have access then to the expansion of ideas. And those ideas then can become part of your life in the human side. It also develops personality traits in you that you may not have been able to reach until now because we've been going through such transformation. So in the transformation section in the book, it says, Black indicates your willingness to experience transformation. You may fear emotional pain and try to avoid it at all costs, yet sometimes it is the means to your transformation. Low points in life can teach you what life is all about. So we've been through some really low points. We've had some really strong energies come in. And if you're like me, I feel them. And what I feel mostly, or have felt in the last few days, was a ringing in my ears. And that is always an indication of a higher frequency coming in. The other part in the book that is highlighted today is the one that's called Shadow Side, and both of these are on page 18 in the color book. We are willing to look at the shadow side. This is a part of you that you may want to hide from yourself and others. This can be the part of you that speaks without thinking or acts in ways that are not consistent with who you are. It may also be the part of you that has exceptional abilities. Using those abilities might mean that you have to take on new responsibilities. You have been willing to be open and honest with yourself. You have come to accept all sides of yourself, including those you might prefer to hide. By bringing your shadow into the light, you may find it is strength in disguise. So that is what's coming up, is the strength that has maybe in the past seemed like something that we wanted to hide, or a part of us that we didn't feel good about. That is now coming up and showing us as a strength. I just want to give you an example, a small example out of my life that was really kind of surprising to me. I have been looking for the proper exercises to do, because I have some things that have come to me down through my genetic line about how I stand, and I wanted to take care of that. But so many times when I would go to experts, I would find myself avoiding or pushing back on certain of the exercises. And I, of course, went to an old pattern that says, well, you must be really unable to take on what someone else tells you, or you're stubborn. That was the thing that was coming up. Well, after a while, I realized that that really wasn't the case at all, that what was coming up was my discernment. My body was trying to tell me what was right for me and what wasn't right for me. And experts sometimes don't know how to go into your energy field and feel what is right for you. So you have to make that choice. So I changed my mind about that. And I realized that when I push back on something, I need to take a look at it, because very often that is my discernment telling me something, or my body telling me something. So that's a little bit like what's been happening, is we sometimes look at something and we think, oh, this is just something that's not right in me. You know, we've had a lot of messages about how we need to change, how we need to be better, that kind of thing. Well, now those things that at one time may have seemed like they were a lack in who we are or in our personality or whatever. And now we're beginning to see, actually, if we look at them as an observer, as we step back from it and actually see how that can operate in our life, that can be a real strength within us. So what this time does for us, as we look at the strengths in Black, the strengths in what we thought maybe wasn't the highest part of us, and we see that as a platform that we stand on. And I often see that platform as our connection to the earth. That allows us to open up to a bigger picture, and that bigger picture often comes from white. It's the soul information that's coming through that we're bringing into this human life. So you'll see in this picture ideas coming in. So this is a time where you finished a lot of the work that was unbalanced. We're coming into a higher frequency. And now if you will be open to a new way of looking at yourself, you're going to start seeing new attributes that you have that you didn't realize. And you're going to be receiving new ideas that you hadn't really thought of before. So that's what's up this week. Really be open to the ideas that come through to you. Be open to the fact that you're standing on a very firm foundation that has to do with all the transformation you've gone through. And it sometimes feels a little bit like there is no foundation because we're in a new time where we're creating as we move. We're not standing in one place. And we're also in a time where the foundation is different. The foundation is our transformation. It is our ability to stand firmly on the earth, be completely connected to the earth, as well as being open to all of our soul information that's coming through, and all the attributes, both through the humanness of us and the attributes that are coming in through our soul. So don't be surprised if there are some physical things that show up in this process. I know a lot of people who have had sore throats that have gone into infections and different things like that. And I'm noticing this morning that my voice is different. So it's a little bit like it's not as strong as it usually is. So there is something that's transforming in my voice, which can mean that it's transforming in what I am to bring forward in my delivery or in the information that I'm bringing through. So I'm going to pay attention to that. Just pay attention to any kind of physical things that come up, and take some time to see what that has to do with stepping into this time of really gaining the fruits from our transformation. So this is actually a very exciting time. The other thing I want to tell you is that we are now in a time at Transformational Tools where we are offering live time on Zoom for those who take our courses. You can always take the course as a home study on your own, but we really find that the most benefit comes when we get together as a group of those who are taking that course, and we have an opportunity to talk about what's happening to us during that. So those things are starting up now, and I'm going to put a link here that will allow you to take a look at where we start in the courses and where they can go next. And if you've been taking the courses with us, I will be contacting you, or you can contact me at Arlene@transformationaltools.com. and we'll find out what is next for you. So my friends, have a very creative and interesting time this week as you begin to see things shifting in you and you moving into the strength of Black.